It's cold.
Man, Daniel, it's so cold outside.
Out there.
Man, I don't know how you stay warm being out there so much.
I tell you what, you gotta wear something more than this. It's 4 degrees out there and snow coming down every direction. You don't have a lot of fuzz up here.
No,
I have to get you a hat.
I do.
Goodness
Hey,
gracious.
but Daniel, I am so excited about my yard that I have going on, and I got some landscaping stuff I want to do. So look, I am totally ready. I have my 7.5, I have my Miracle Grow, and I got this handy dandy head scratcher for Christmas. I just can't wait to use.
Scott, those are great products. You got to get the right timing. We're talking about timing. When it's cold outside, you wear big jackets. When it's time to garden, we're going to get this stuff out. This is an awesome product. When your tomato plants are up and they're growing, shake that down. This keeps all kinds of bugs and stuff away. It's awesome. The Miracle Grow is awesome. You got this for Christmas in your stocking?
Yes!
Unbelievable. It does double as a back scratcher if you're bored and otherwise you're digging. It's wonderful. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about what we can be doing right now that'll be a huge help into the future.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, Daniel, I know that you have a lot of experience working with all this stuff, and I know I'm a rookie, so I need you to help me. What are we going to do? What do you want me to do? It's the end of February. What am I supposed to do for my yard?
There's some really strategic things that you can do that'll make a huge difference, making your life a whole lot easier into the future. So we'll start with landscape. Okay, so you're talking about the landscape beds around your house, whether it's decorative rock, whether it's mulch, whatever it is, you get weeds popping up in there. You'll just drive yourself crazy if you're trying to hand pull that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So what we recommend is Preen, Pre-Emergence, or Miracle Grow Weed Prevent. That stuff you can get at Home Depot, Lowe's, Sam's Club. $25 is this humongous container. You'll be able to last all your entire season for your entire house. So $25 for your house. You shake it down in February, in April, and in June. You just shake it over your landscape. It's not going to hurt any of your perennials. What it does is it prevents weeds from coming up in your landscape. So whenever the dandelion seeds blow in, that prevents the weeds from coming up.
Okay, and so it's a powder. It's not a spray.
It's a powder.
Okay.
It's a powder. You just shake that down 3 times. You put it over the top of all your bushes, plants. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay. That's a product we recommend for homeowners for your landscape. The other product we recommend for homeowners for their landscape is ready-to-use Roundup. Okay? There's been a lot of concern in the media about Roundup. Is it safe? Is it not safe? I'm telling you, we've been around all kinds of people. This is our industry. This is what we do, and we're not seeing any of the same stuff that they're claiming has happened. So it's not a product I'm worried about at all. Also, Roundup is amazing because it does not stay in the soil. So you can spray it down. I can come to your house tomorrow and overseed that area that I just sprayed, and grass seed will come up wonderful because it does not stay in the soil. So it's an amazing product. That's the other thing. It's a ready-to-use. What we recommend is a ready-to-use product. Similar to this one, this is Ortho Home Defense, which is fantastic. But I'm going to talk to you more about that in just a second. But this is a ready-to-use product. So instead of you having to go get a backpack sprayer, mix everything up, and then go spray 3 weeds, we recommend you get something like this for $10. It's got a longer shelf life. Whenever you mix up your chemicals, they're only good for 24 hours because the pH in our water is so alkaline. It's like a 9.0, which is really alkaline, which makes the chemicals break down quickly. This has a pH of 7, so it's going to last a long time. You can go out and just spot spray your weeds. Now, when I'm talking about spraying with Roundup, you have to be really careful not to get it on any of your perennials, not to get it on any of your bushes. Don't spray it on a windy day. So understand, okay, this is my landscape area. I'm going to be spot spraying really close down to get each one of those.
Because will that kill grass too?
Everything.
It'll kill everything.
Yeah, you do not use this in your lawn. You don't use this to kill dandelions in your lawn. That's a different product for a different day.
Okay.
That's awesome. So for your lawn, so for the landscape, we have the landscape bed pre-emergence that needs to happen right now.
Okay.
The other thing is dormant pruning. So dormant pruning is awesome. This is your one shot that nobody even knows about. You have those burning bushes, so those large bushes. Any bush that is deciduous, that is way out of control, you're thinking about having somebody take it out and replace it, don't. Just chop that bush down to whatever size you want it to be. If it's deciduous, now if it's an evergreen and it's got leaves, you can't do that. But if it's deciduous, like that, the huge burning bushes that are like this, I'm going to take it down so it's about here by here.
So those lilac bushes would be another one, right?
Yep.
Lilacs?
Yep. You can do that with lilacs, and actually lilac bushes, you're supposed to trim the big stuff out of it. So you'll see some big stalks, and then you'll see little tiny stalks. The little tiny stalks are the healthier part of the plant, and if you'll trim, just chop off those at the ground. When I'm talking about dormant pruning, normally I'm talking about a bush that's just gotten so large over the years that it's completely covering your front door. You can't see your shutters on your house. You can't see the architecture of your house. Chopping that down so it's very manageable here by here. If it's growing out past your landscape edging, bringing that back down, super easy. And actually, if you do it now, you probably won't have to touch that bush the whole year because it's smaller. And so you're out there on a 4-degree day enjoying yourself instead of a 94-degree day. And depending on who you are, you might like the 4-degree day better than the 94-degree day.
Yes, yes.
So that's landscape. Lawn. There's a lot of things you can do with your lawn right now that's tremendous. And that's basically getting the leaves off. So if those leaves are accumulating in the corner, getting those leaves out so that sunlight can come down. And then also putting down an application of fertilizer right now is going to make a tremendous difference. All the trees have lost their leaves, so there's some of the turf that's not normally getting sunlight is now getting sunlight. Throwing down an application of fertilizer is going to make a tremendous difference as far as getting that turf started.
Okay, so a couple months ago I was kind of lazy and I didn't get rid of my leaves.
Okay.
So now I can still get rid of them and it'll be a good yard. And
Get rid of them and throw down some grass seed. So go get some grass seed. Don't get contractor's mix. Contractor's mix is like super fast, aggressive. It comes up and it looks like a jungle. It looks like you just took something and put it out there and you're like, what the heck kind of grass is this? Don't get contractor's mix. Get a turf type tall fescue or a bluegrass blend, something like that. Shake that down. You can get small quantities from Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever, and you're going to have a tremendous deal with your yard. Okay. April 1st is the most important application of your yard program, and that's a pre-emergent. It's similar to the idea that we talked about the landscape bed pre-emergence. That's going to keep weeds from coming up in your turf grass. So if your neighbor has tons of dandelions and they're blowing over, you put that down and you're not going to get those things coming up in your yard.
Okay, and so when I go to Lowe's or Home Depot or wherever I go, if the box or whatever I'm using says pre-emergence on there, or what am I looking for
Yes.
that powder I'm using?
Awesome question. So you have landscape bed pre-emergence, which is either Miracle Grow Weed Prevent or Preen Pre-Emergence. I know that Sam's Club sells Preen Pre-Emergence every spring, big huge thing. Those two products, it's for landscape beds. Now when we talk about pre-emergence for your lawn, that's just going to be your lawn program. It's usually Scott's step number 1 or grass pad, the guy step number 1, and it includes the crabgrass weed prevent. So it's a fertilizer, a granular fertilizer for your lawn, and then the weed prevent.
Okay, and that's one of those I'm going to want to use a spreader for. I'm not going to want to try to use just my hands, right?
Correct. Yep, and I usually put it down a lot heavier than they recommend. They're recommending that bag goes over 5,000 square feet. I'm probably going to use that over 3,000 or 3,500 square feet. The most important thing is that you just don't stop when you're spreading it. So don't just let it pile up there. That's why they kind of tell you to disperse it out. So every 6 weeks you need to be doing the lawn program if you want to make it look perfect. If you're just going to do one application, then this is the application. April 1st is the application we recommend with the lawn pre-emergence and fertilizer.
Okay. Now in my yard I have some big oak trees, which I absolutely love, give me a lot of shade, but right underneath at the base of those trees, it's all dirt. I don't get grass to grow around those trees at all. I don't know if it's because it blocks out too much of the sun or what. Is there something I can do for something like that?
So excellent question. So actually the oak trees drop acorns. The acorns have an incredible amount of acid in them. And so people think it's the shade that's shading out the lawn, and it's not. It's that you have so much acid in your soil that we can throw down all kinds of grass seed and it's going to come up and it's just going to die out. So the answer is lime. Lime is cheap. You can get it at any farm store. You can get it at Lowe's again. Put down that lime. And I'm talking, if you're talking about what you have, I'm going to say I want 100 pounds of lime underneath every drip line. So anywhere there's acorns, anywhere those acorns are, I want 100 pounds of lime spread evenly. You can either do it through a spreader or you can just open up the bag and just like sling it out, and it's going to change the pH, and then this fall you'll be able to seed it. You're not going to be able to do anything right now, but get that lime down, 100 pounds underneath every pin oak right now, if it's already dying out like that. If you're just starting, then maybe just 50 pounds, but then probably another 50 pounds underneath every pin oak this fall when you overseed.
Okay, so I can do that now. I can do the lime now.
You want to do that now because you're changing the pH of the soil throughout that entire area in preparation for the September seeding.
Okay. Well, I don't have anything else. What else do you have for us?
I brought a couple of things real quick here. in February and again in June, and is the time for us to put down some insecticide around our houses. So we talk about putting insecticide down in the summertime for grubs. I like to put some insecticide down within about 40 feet of our house in February and again in June. That way I'm not getting ants. I'm not getting any bugs coming around the house. It makes fleas, tigers and chicks. Tigers and chicks. Chicks and tigers.
Here we go.
Fleas and ticks.
Yes.
All of that. You can get a liquid insecticide. This is one of my favorite homeowner products. It's a dial-in sprayer. So you can put whatever chemical you're wanting to use. So if you want to spray your dandelions, you just put the chemical in there, and then you just screw it. You just open it up, put the chemical in there, screw it back down, and then adjust your dial right there to probably about 3 ounces per gallon. This thing will hook up to your garden hose. You can spray your entire lawn super fast with this. Whether you're putting down insecticide to keep the ants and all that stuff away, or the broadleaf spray for your dandelions, that's fantastic. Got gloves here because I want you to understand anytime we're dealing with any of that, we need to have rubber gloves on. A lot of the chemicals and stuff don't have colorant on it. And so you're looking at having a bunch of chemicals on there. You start eating an apple and then you have a headache for the next 3 days and you don't know why. So anyways, make sure you rinse, take a shower, and
smart move. I got another question I just thought about, because, at my house and Lathrop in general, we have really bad dirt when it comes to foundations and things like that. So around my house, I've been adding a bunch of dirt trying to keep that water away. Is there a special rule, or how much dirt do I need to use, or what do I need to do to keep this water away so that way our foundation stays good?
Okay, so you're talking about drainage, and you're talking about sloping that so that when you have your house, that it all flows away every direction. Whether you have a gutter, whether you just have it, whatever it is, we want to get that water away. And the rule of thumb is if we have, let's say this is your house and your siding comes down to right here and this is your foundation. Well, then I can fill up to probably right about here and slope that evenly over 6 feet. So the rule of thumb is 1 inch per foot for at least 6 feet out from your foundation. So that if a gutter overflows, if anything, it's just flowing out of there. Now, some houses don't have the siding up this high. It's all the way down here. Well, now I'm really limited by what we can do. And so we have to add soil to within about 1 inch or 2 of the siding and then slope that away. Sometimes if it's so flat, then we're grabbing those gutters and burying those underground and taking those out. That's not a product, that's not something we recommend on every gutter, because you get debris in that gutter and it comes down through there, it can clog that system. But sometimes we need to get that water from the corner of your house out and away so that it can flow away and we're not getting water in the basement. Likewise, the most important gutter that we've seen is right by the driveway. There's a gutter sometimes that's right by the driveway, it dumps out and it runs underneath the driveway and it causes your entire driveway to settle. And that's when you need mud jacking. But before you do your mud jacking, and we'll go into mud jacking here in just a second, but before you do your mud jacking, we need to have that gutter and run it underneath your front sidewalk and bring it out so that when it pops up, it just flows away. It's important to get that water away. Once the water is away, then you can have a company come in and do mud jacking, and that is where they drill holes in your driveway and they pump mud up underneath there, and it's so strong and it winds up lifting up your entire concrete driveway, and it supports your driveway to keep it from cracking, because otherwise that gutter dumped down and now you have a bridge going into your house. It was never designed to be a bridge. It was designed to be a driveway. Mud jacking. So anyways, it prevents all of that. Getting that water away prevents all those problems.
Well, good. So when we're talking about, so we're going to seed, you said we're going to do that in April? Is that when we're seeding, or when are we seeding
I would
our
do the
yard?
seeding. I would do the seeding April 15th. February 15th.
February 15th.
February 15th. So you're immediately getting the leaves out of there, and then you're throwing down seed. If you wanted to verticut that or throw a straw on top of it, either of those would be wonderful. And then that's going to be germinating in April. So we're putting it down now, and we're being patient. It's going to come up as the soil temperatures reach 50 degrees. The grass seed will start growing, and then we'll be good to go.
Well, we're Americans. We're not very patient.
No, we're not.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Daniel, for this. And if they need to get a hold of you, they can contact me at the church, and we can make sure they get all their questions answered if they have more questions.
Yep.
All right,
Awesome.
anything else?
Thank you.
All right.
Have
Thank
a great
you.
day.
You too.
Okay, see you later.